मेरा हाय रे जबरा होए रे जबरा फैन हो गया।
Hi, this is Melanie, Movie Maven Gal for Pardesi. I'm here to do a movie review of Jai Lava Kusa, Jr NTR's latest film that just came out. I wasn't able to see it the opening day, but I was able to see it second day, as I promised. And the film is directed by someone who's known as Bobby. Bobby is also known as K.S. Ravindra. And I have not seen the other two films that he has directed, but he was also a screenwriter. He's an assistant director on Bahubali. And as a screenwriter, I really did enjoy the script for Mr. Perfect. So I have seen that, at least some of his other work before. So I have been mulling over what I felt about Jai Lava Kusa. I am going to do as much of a spoiler-free review as I can. The film is a showcase for NTR. You got that from the trailers. He's playing for the first time in his life a triple role, and you have, we know from the trailer, it's three brothers, Jai, Lava, and Kusa. And this director shows the childhood origins of Jai and his brothers, Lava and Kusa. And I was really surprised at what their backstory was. They were all actors in a little troupe together. And as we saw in the trailer, Jai, the one brother who, you know, in the imagery of the trailer, he looks like Ravan with the, you know, they show him with the 10 heads behind him and everything. And so he has a slight stutter. And I didn't know if that was like for a comic effect or something in the trailer, but it wasn't. That is, you know, an affliction that he has from childhood, and his other brothers treat him cruelly, but not, you know, just because no one tells them not to make fun of him. And they are made the stars of this little troupe, and he is almost treated like a servant. So the, you know, all of this burns within him, and then, you know, this resentment, and then something happens and the brothers get separated. They don't know if they, you know, are alive or dead. They're all separated. The film shows, you know, as we saw in the teaser trailers of each character, we have quite an introduction for each character. There's a lot of time spent on each one, and NTR is so brilliant because I think I recently read an interview where he wanted to stretch. You know, he wanted a challenge, an acting challenge, and he's certainly given himself one, because he gets to show such a range in this film. He gets to do the comedy that he is so great at. He's playing off himself in so many scenes. You know, obviously, he's playing the brothers, sometimes two on the screen, sometimes three. And he gets to play a real baddie and Jai, you know, because Jai becomes, as an adult, calls himself Ravan. You know, that is who he admires. That's who he takes on. And so there are echoes of Ravan's story and what happened. You know, you can kind of gather some of what's going to happen from them choosing that is who his character is modeled after. I haven't seen all of NTR's films. I've seen Yamadanga, I've seen Simhadri, which I really enjoyed. So he had this talent from when he was 19 or 20 years old, but now he has matured as an actor, and he is amazing. The movie is completely on his shoulders, and he carries it just by force of will of his enthusiasm in doing these three different characters. Now, the most fully fleshed out, that it's obvious when he's playing the villainous Jai Ravan, and I'm not sure that I've ever seen him in that kind of a role. So, if he's done something else where he plays a dark character, please let me know in the comments. But previously the films that I have seen him in, he's played these lighter, funnier kind of characters. And I mean, while he in Janata Garage, he had kind of that action hero thing, this was dark. And I thought he was so good. The dance scenes, each character gets kind of their own song that they get to do. My jaw was on the floor with the dances he was doing as the Ravan character. It was like, whoa. So he slimmed down a lot since some of his earlier films. He has amazing dance moves. I like the big production numbers. It's not a perfect film. The first song, as the character, I think as the Kusa character, he does this big number, and basically the chorus says, I'm going to put a spell of magic on you and I'm going to take your troubles away. And I would say that is the mantra of the film. That is what it's all about. This is not necessarily a deep film that you're going to go home and just think about, like, Arjun Reddy. It is not a movie that is action packed with non-stop action scenes. It is definitely a masala where you just have this whole mix of comedy and emotion. And yes, there's great action scenes, but the action is not what it's all about. It's not just constant action, action, action. I think the story could have been fleshed out a little bit more. He could have expanded more on having more drama drawn from having, what he started with, this basis of this rivalry of these brothers. Possibly the director could have done more with that story. And he spent so much time on NTR that the two women in the film, so there's two romances. The one with Raashi Khanna gets a little bit more. That's the one with the nerdy character Kusa. And that one gets kind of the most fleshed out romance, if you will. But even so, I was left wanting a little bit more of that story. And then poor Nivetha Thomas, who I loved in Ninu Kori, the recent romantic film with Nani. And here, she gets a few big dramatic scenes, but really her romance storyline gets, the least amount of time. And, I was like, oh my gosh, she was so amazing. And she just really didn't have the opportunity to show it because it's the NTR show, and I do love, I did love seeing NTR. I'm just saying, here you have this actress that is so awesome. I want to see a whole movie with NTR and Nivetha. And it's like, there's so much crowded in that their little love story wasn't given enough time to really be much. It was just a quick little thing with, the one character. So that was a little frustrating for me that the women were so sidelined because it was just so much. I mean, how can you compete with NTR playing three different people? You've got three different characters to cover. So also you had Run It Roy. Is that his name? The Hindi actor. I think he was dubbed. He was playing kind of one of the ultimate villains. I don't know that he really stood out so much. I mean, I love seeing him on screen, but as kind of a big ultimate villain. There was another guy who I've seen as a villain in so many films, and I don't remember it. I don't know the actor's name, but it was another one of, hey, it's that guy. He's always kind of the big head of, the evil clan or whatever. So he was in there, so it was nice to see some of these faces. So mixed feelings about this movie. Overall, I came out entertained, enjoyed seeing NTR doing such a virtuoso performance of these three roles. I'm amazed at his talents. A little frustrated with that maybe there could have been more to the story, but still, what was there with the depths, I just gave you an inkling. It's about these three young brothers and something from childhood happening, at that point, and then carrying over. And then there was a redemption scene where they, pretended that they were acting again like they had in childhood. And that was quite emotional, and the ending of the film itself is an emotional ending. I'm not going to say you're going to, walk out of the film whistling a happy tune. Let's just put it that way. It packs a wall up at the end. So, not a perfect film, but that's more on the director and the script than on NTR himself, who is fantastic. He is fantastic, and I left satisfied just as that was entertaining to watch. I talked to 2 other people who had seen the film with me. They were just in the theater. They didn't come with me. But anyway, they thought it was enjoyable, but kind of had the same feeling that I did, that, maybe it was a little slow in the second half. Maybe it wasn't the best ever, but still NTR entertains. I loved the songs. Oh, Tamina from the Bahubali films and other things. She is the item girl, so she gets one item girl song as well. Thumbs up. I would recommend seeing it in the theater just to see NTR and just to see the songs. And I don't know which song was my favorite. There wasn't one that particularly stood out. I like that kind of tring, tring, tring. I don't know what the title of is that one, but that one was a very catchy tune. So let me know what you thought. If you saw the film, I don't know if I can stop you from doing spoilers, but maybe warn if you're going to spoiler the ending and some of the plot points in the second half in your comment. And let me know what you think. What is your favorite Jr NTR film? Has he ever done another one where he was kind of an evil character like this, or is this a breakthrough new thing for him? Let me know. And I'd love if you subscribe. Please press the subscribe button before if you'd like to see more film reviews like this, trailer reactions, song reactions to Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, and Malayalam films. Also, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Pardesi YT.